I mean, what can I say? I mean, Crown Jewel was quite the show, to say the very least. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And honestly, looking at the card from Crown Jewel, top to bottom, left to right, this card was, I would say it was pretty chaotic, to say the very least. But for today's video, I'm gonna be revealing the results and giving my review on Crown Jewel, and talking about what we could potentially see as we move closer and closer to Survivor Series. So let's get the party started with a 6-man tag team match, a battle of the Samoans, as the OG bloodline Roman Reigns teamed with his cousins Jimmy Uso and his twin, and of course Jimmy's own twin, main event Jey Uso, against the new bloodline of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and of course Jacob Fatu. And it's weird because I talked about in my prediction video, I think on Tuesday, I talked about how whether or not the OG bloodline can actually coexist after such a long time apart. Because think about this. It's, as I said, this whole thing started years ago, all the way back in 2020, when Roman Reigns first became WWE champion. And from that point forward, he basically treated the Usos as like sacrificial lambs, if you will, for his own gain, for his own personal gain. And the fact that Jimmy had cost Jey countless title opportunities over the years, over the last couple of years, including not one, not two, but three WWE titles. He cost Jey and Cody the then undisputed tag team titles against the Judgment Day. He cost Jey the United States title, the Intercontinental title, the World title. So many opportunities. Jimmy has cost Jey everything. And of course, it all came ahead at WrestleMania, when not only did we see Jey defeat his own twin brother, but Jey helped Cody finish the story, that match, in which not only is the Battle of the Brothers from night one of WrestleMania on, not only is that match posted live, in its entirety on YouTube, but so is the main event of both night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania, which is incredible. And I even also talked about whether or not they can coexist. And honestly, I'm actually kind of surprised that they were. They were able to coexist. And we saw last night on SmackDown, Jey was like, no, I don't consider you, we should not consider you a tribal chief. We need to be equals. And Roman was like, just simple, one word, yeet. And funny enough, they were able to coexist. And it was a battle to see. It wasn't a battle for supremacy or for bragging rights. It was more of, how can I put it? It was more like the OG bloodline trying to get payback, if you will, over the new bloodline, because there's a lot of combustible elements that led to this match, especially over the last like 7-8 months now. We saw again as I said, we saw Jey defeat his own twin brother on night 1 of WrestleMania. We saw The Rock and Roman defeat Cody and Seth in the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania. We saw Cody finally finish the story and become WWE champion, literally with the help of guys like John Cena, guys like Jey Uso, guys like Seth Rollins and The Undertaker. Not only that, but on the SmackDown after WrestleMania, the week after WrestleMania, Tama Tonga shows up, debuts, beating the hell out of Jimmy Uso, literally kicking him out of the bloodline. And then, we saw Jay go after multiple, not literally like go after multiple different championships, including the World Heavyweight title, and of course the Money in the Bank briefcase, which obviously that was won by Drew McIntyre, which obviously was a complete fumble. I get it. It was pretty funny. I get it. And then of course Jay finally becoming Intercontinental Champion, and then of course Roman shows up at SummerSlam, helping Cody retain the WWE title. We saw Cody and Roman team up against Solo and Jacob, which again, just like with The Rock and John Cena, this one never before, probably never again. Who the fuck knows? But here's the wild thing: Jimmy Uso comes back, and both Roman and Jimmy help Cody fend off against the New Bloodline when Cody was being attacked at Bad Blood. Then of course, we all know the New Bloodline costs Jay the Intercontinental title over Braun Breaker. And now tonight, Crown Jewel, the 6-man tag, again, those three men, Roman and the Usos, only banded together to fend off against the New Bloodline and get payback from everything that happened in the last 7 months that led to tonight. And I'm actually kind of surprised with the way it ended, because obviously the fans were expecting Roman to win. They wanted the OG Bloodline to win to regain that supremacy, if you will. But it was not meant to be, as we saw Solo Sikoa literally hit Roman Reigns with not one but 2 Samoan spikes to pick up the victory for the New Bloodline. But as Roman Reigns was trying to fight back after the match, the New Bloodline beat down the OG Bloodline. Sami Zayn comes in, hits Solo with a with an exploder suplex, which led to obviously the OG Bloodline banding together once again. But it was a complete backfire as Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn hit each other with their own respective moves. Obviously, Sami Zayn with the Haluva kick and Roman with the Superman punch, which buys into the question: is Sami Zayn with the OG Bloodline, or is he with the New Bloodline? The way I see it, because of the fact that The Rock showed up at Bad Blood, I'm under the impression that The Rock might end up joining the new Bloodline, and then we might end up seeing Sammy join up with the OG Bloodline, as will the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, which, I mean, it's possible, but I don't think that's what's going to end up happening as far as Cody goes, only because of the fact that he said he was done. He said he was done with the Bloodline, and he wanted nothing to do with them, and he wanted to put his focus on defending his title against anyone, anywhere, anytime. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I think we're definitely going to be seeing a Bloodline civil war inside WarGames at Survivor Series. The Rock gets involved. Sammy joins the OG Bloodline. It's possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But overall, though, I think the match was pretty fucking solid. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely incredible. I never would have imagined as well that after over a year, almost 2 years, that Roman and the Usos would ever coexist. I never would have imagined. But this is a solid 4 stars. I'm being real. This was a solid 4 stars. Absolutely excuse me, absolutely amazing. Absolutely incredible. Could it have ended differently? Honestly, I don't think so. I think with the fact that the referee got taken out, and with the fact that as well that Tonga Loa got involved as well, the 4-man advantage was always gonna creep in with this match. So I really don't think there was gonna be any other way that the match was going to end. Excuse me. But next up, we have a fatal 4-way for the women's tag team titles, as the champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defended against Damage Control, Metaphor, and of course the team of Piper Niven and of course Chelsea Green. And by Damage Control, I mean Io Sky and Kairi Sane, and by Metaphor, obviously Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, being their first main roster PLE in their careers, which is kind of weird actually if you think about it. But here's the thing: we knew that the odds were going to be against the tag team champions. We knew that their backs were going to be against the wall, and this was just like the opening match. This one was just as chaotic. A lot of combustible elements. We saw choke slam. We saw we saw choke slams. We saw moonsaults. We even saw Piper Niven accidentally hit Chelsea Green with a Vader bomb, which was completely unexpected. But in the end, at the end of it all, just when you thought that one team was gonna try and pick up the victory, another team shows up, and it was just combustible, absolutely chaotic. But in the closing moments, Jade and Bianca hit Piper Niven with the Doomsday device to retain the tag team titles. And I mean, again, it's fatal 4-way, no countouts, no DQ, anything, literally anything and everything could have happened. As far as who I think could have won, as crazy as it sounds, I think Damage Control. And the reason why I say Damage Control is mainly because of the fact that Kairi and Io have a lot of history together, dating back to their time in Japan, but also their time in NXT, having have had a few matches there over the years. And when you really think about it, and when you really whoa, kicked my desk here a bit. Anyway, when you really think about it, if you mix Kairi and Io with Asuka and Dakota Kai, both of which who are sadly on the injured list, they make a formidable faction, funny enough. And it's crazy because Bayley was the one that started Damage Control a little over a couple of years ago in 2022, wasn't it? Yeah, literally just a couple of years ago in 2022. And even now, Damage Control has become even more better, has become so much better than they were last year, so so it's pretty crazy. But I will say, I think with the experience that Damage Control has together, I think that could have been the ultimate X factor that would have given them another run as tag team champions. But I will say, Jade and Bianca are definitely a force to be reckoned with. So overall, 3 stars. I'm being optimistic. 3 stars, absolutely incredible. Again, don't think it could have gone any other way, but still, But still, I do think Damage Control should have won that one. But next up, we have just a simple, plain old one-on-one match between Seth freaking Rollins and, of course, Big Bronson Reed, in a match that actually goes back a few months when we saw, literally, this all started like right around like right after SummerSlam, actually, when, you know, right after Seth Rollins officiated a match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Rollins counted CM Punk's shoulders for the 3 count, and then not too long after that on Raw, Bronson Reed attacked Rollins from behind, hit him with 6 tsunamis, which obviously led to this matchup. And crazy enough, both these guys had been at each other's throats over the last month or so, and it literally had to boil down for tonight. It literally boiled down at Crown Jewel, and the bell didn't even ring the first 5-6 minutes at best of the match. The bell didn't even ring, and they were already beating the hell out of each other. And we all thought that Bronson Reed was going to win it. We all thought Bronson Reed was going to sneak over, was going to dominate the match and pick up the victory. But we all know Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins is always going to find some way to walk away with the W. And it took not 1, not 2, but 3 stomps. 3 stomps to Bronson Reed. The first one was on the steel steps. Second one was in the ring. Second one was from the top rope. And Bronson Reed lost, but just somehow got right back up and basically said, I ain't done with your ass. I ain't done with yo ass. And I think if Bronson Reed was able to dominate the match even further, then yeah, maybe he could have won. But this is Seth Rollins we're talking about. He always finds a way to pick up a W. 3 stars, ain't gonna complain about that. But but speaking of complaints, I don't even know what to make of this, but we have the Women's Crown Jewel title between the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan of the Judgment Day, and of course the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, who had been on a huge roll as of late. This just literally over the summer, ever since May when she won Queen of the Ring. She had been extremely dominant, and it's the same thing with Liv Morgan. She's been on quite the roll herself as of late, ever since winning the Women's World title at King and Queen of the Ring. At King and Queen of the Ring in Jeddah, which again for Liv, it literally boiled. It all like came ahead at SummerSlam when she stole Dom away from Rhea Ripley, and with Rhea completely out of the picture, especially with what happened on NXT this past Tuesday, I have a feeling that Rhea Ripley is going to be out of action for at least a couple months, and then she'll end up coming back to take out Liv Morgan, which is possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But I will say, this matchup, we saw Tiffany Stratton show up. We thought she was going to cash in. Raquel showed up. Dominic Mysterio showed up. And because of the Judgment Day, because of Raquel and Dom, Liv Morgan once again walks away with the W and becomes the first ever Women's Crown Jewel champion. Obviously, Tiffany Stratton could have cashed in, and in my opinion, I think she should have. I think that would have been such a perfect opportunity for Tiffany to walk away as a champion. But I think this coming Friday on SmackDown, I think Nia Jax is going to have a lot to say to Tiffany Stratton. But overall, I think, given how dominant Nia Jax has been, I really don't think she needed the victory anyway. So, for me, in my opinion, this was a good way for Liv Morgan to prove to the world that she has what it takes to remain champion. And I think tonight, in spite of both Raquel and Dirty Dom getting involved, I think she definitely has proved it. And I think she's gonna remain Women's World Champion for a little bit longer until Rhea Ripley shows up again. But overall, 3 stars, not gonna complain. Speaking of complaining, this one, I'm kind of bitter about this one, because we were expecting Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to go at it one-on-one, but the match didn't even start. Randy Orton was in the ring doing his usual pose, and Kevin Owens took out the knee with the steel chair, and both men were just beating the hell out of each other all throughout the building in Riyadh. Randy Orton hit Adam Pearce with the stunner, with an RKO. Kevin Owens hit a referee with a stunner. Literally, officials being thrown all over the place, and this led to Kevin Owens hitting an elbow onto Randy Orton through a table, and again, literally, the match didn't even start. So I can't even rate this one at all. But if it did become an instant classic, I probably would have given it 4 stars. But who knows? Honestly, I think this matchup has to come to a head, and it has to come to a head at Survivor Series. Like, if it doesn't happen at Survivor Series, where both men are actually in the ring fighting it out at the start of the bell, then there's no point for this match to happen. But it is what it is. Obviously, both Kevin Owens and Randy Orton will be fined a pretty decent amount of money for assaulting officials, including the GM Adam Pearce from Raw. But we'll have to wait and see. But next up, we have the triple threat for the United States title between LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and of course Andrade. Excuse me. In a match that not only is based on wanting to become U.S. champion, but also just based on respect, because with all 3 of these men literally just at each other's throats, with LA Knight having victories over both Melo and Andrade over said U.S. title. You would think that LA Knight would have gotten that respect, but he hadn't. He did not get that respect whatsoever. And this was actually a pretty incredible triple threat, because we thought that Andrade was gonna pull off a top rope move onto Melo, who was in the ring. Nope, he hit the moonsault on LA Knight from the outside, and this was back and forth. Melo had attempted to pin both Knight and Andrade. LA Knight did the same thing to his challengers. It was back and forth, but in the end, LA Knight hit Melo and Andrade with a BFT to retain the United States title. Maybe now LA Knight will get that respect, but I have a feeling that we are definitely going to be getting that proverbial Game 7. Now, obviously, instead of a Game 7, it'll be a Game 8, because Game 7 ended in a draw. We're definitely going to be getting Game 8 at some point, maybe in the next couple of weeks on SmackDown. Who knows? Maybe it might happen on Raw this Monday. Who the fuck knows? But overall, absolutely incredible. This was an easy 3 stars. I think Andrade should have won it because he's been back in WWE just this past year alone, and he still hasn't gotten the respect he deserves. And I think for him to have won, for him to win the U.S. title for the second time in his career, I think that would have given him the respect that he's been desperately craving, if you will. But if Melo were to have won, I think it would establish himself as one of the fastest rising stars on SmackDown, and it probably would have put him in contention for more opportunities, if you will. But with that being said, we move into the main event for the men's crown jewel title between the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther and the WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We knew that this match was going to come to pass. And we knew because Cody Rhodes eliminated Gunther from both the 2023 and the 2024 men's Royal Rumble matches. Actually, funny enough, Cody and Gunther were in the final two of the 2023 match. But I believe, if my memory serves right, Cody and Gunther, along with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, were in the final four of the 2024 men's Royal Rumble match, and we knew at some point this match had to come to pass, and we finally got it. We finally got it. The battle to see who is the best, and this was an instant classic. It's like I said, every time you see Gunther in a match, whether he was defending the NXT UK Championship, or whether it was him defending the Intercontinental title, or whether it was him defending the World Heavyweight title, he always found a way to make it an instant classic. And funny enough, tonight was no different. Tonight was no different. Multiple attempts of applying the sleeper, multiple chops, multiple clotheslines, Cody cutters, disaster kicks, crossroads, power bombs. This was literally an instant classic. And at the closing moments, Cody Rhodes attempted to hit a Cody cutter from the top rope, the same way that he used, the same maneuver that he used on Brock Lesnar last year. He attempted it on Gunther. Gunther attempted to counter with the sleeper, and Cody Rhodes pulled off the Bret Hart Roddy Piper spot by countering with a flip over Gunther, pinning him for a 1, 2, 3. And thus, Cody Rhodes is now the men's crown jewel champion. And both men shook hands as a sign of respect. 5 stars. Absolutely incredible. Not gonna complain. Obviously, yeah, Gunther could have won, but either way, I think the way I see it, the match could have gone either way. But I think that match proved that both of those men deserve to be champion. You know, that match proved that Gunther deserves to be world champion, and it also proved that Cody Rhodes deserves to be the WWE champion. But now the question becomes this: what's going to happen at Survivor Series? There's a lot that we can expect. There's a lot that we can expect. One thing for certain that we can expect is a Bloodline WarGames match. Imagine Bloodline, OG, new Bloodline inside WarGames. Think of how deadly that can be. That would be crazy. Another match that we could potentially expect to see is Gunther defending the world title at Survivor Series. But as far as against who, it's hard to say, because right now we've found out that This Monday on Raw, it'll be Dom versus Sheamus versus Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins in a fatal 4-way, which I'm assuming whoever wins will challenge Gunther at Survivor Series, which is possible, but there's still some time left. There's still about a few weeks left for us to figure that out, if you will. But as far as the women's WarGames match, I mean, there's really no telling. I mean, the way I see it, maybe it'll be Team Liv versus Team Rhea, which is possible, but it could also be Team Liv versus Team Becky as well, because there's been a lot of chatter going around as of late that supposedly Becky Lynch will be making her comeback for the first time since late spring of this year, which again, it's possible, but we really don't know for sure. But again, there's still a lot of time left for us to figure it out. But overall, the card itself, absolutely incredible. 4 stars, not gonna complain. Probably one of the best Saudi Arabian shows that WWE has done ever. Like ever. Which is saying a lot, because a lot of the previous Saudi Arabian shows that WWE has done over the last like 5, 6, 7 years have been like mediocre to like the worst card possible, if you will. But this one was pretty fucking solid, if I do say so myself. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.